Hi, Al at HANKSTERS, Daytona Beach, Florida. We keep coming up with some really neat toys for you, and this is another one. 1967 Camaro SS style car. The car is a very special car in the fact that it has a 512 block in it, which means that it started life as at least a Hypo 427. It is a 454 to our knowledge. We know that it's a 4-bolt block, being it is a 512. Got an aluminum intake on it, Holley carburetor, vacuum secondaries, power steering, power brakes, tubular exhaust on it, headers. Really high quality car. Vintage air conditioning, high flow radiator, 4-pass, at least a 4-pass radiator, high flow. New condenser in it, all new belts, all new hoses, new power brake booster, chrome alternator. There's nothing underneath this hose that needs addressed in any way. This car is just absolutely a fantastic running car. Got a big horse 454 in it. Really gets the job done. It's really a great car mechanically. And it's a 4-speed. Okay, looking at the nose of our 67 Camaro, you can see the high quality of the paint and the fit and finish on this car. Very nice quality car. Real high grade car. Cowl induction hood. The correct for 1967 style nose striping on it. All the plastic in the grille is nice and clean, no chips, no pieces missing or anything. Marker lights are absolutely just as nice as could possibly be. The spoiler has no breaks or cracks in it. Chrome on the front bumper is just as nice, and the finish on it and the fit you can see is just absolutely flawless in the front end of this car. The anodization around the grille area is all new and nice and clean. It's just a great car. From the nose of this car, there's not one single thing that you can pick out on this car, nothing. And the paint is exemplary on this car. Okay, going down the driver's side of our Camaro, you can see the front bumper, the way it fits onto the fender is just the way it should be. Again, the paint is just gorgeous on this car, absolutely gorgeous. 18-inch chrome wheels on the front with some high dollar tires, disc brakes in the front. Wheel lip molding, no marks or dents or anything on it, 454 and your Super Sport flag designation, and Camaro for the 67 big block with the flags. That's the way they were in 1967. Molding along the bottom, you can see it all lines up just as nice as can be. Rocker panel molding as straight as can be, also no dents or dings. Chrome on the mirror is absolutely like brand new. Tinted window in the front, no marks or chips or anything on it. Very high quality car here. Correct wiper arms, incorrect blades. They're a modern, newer style, more efficient blade that they use now. Dashboard has no cracks, no marks on it, no fading on the painted area in front of that. It's really a great looking car. Rubber around the vent windows is nice, tinted glass on the sides. Chrome on the door handles is just as nice and sweet as can be. Inside this car is just the way you see it on the outside, which you can see from Mario's high resolution photos that he has. SS style steering wheel, the correct 67 gauge cluster that goes on the console, Hurst shifter with the white Hurst ball. 4-speed car, great car. Console, obviously. Tachometer is correct for 1967. Door panels, seats, headliner, everything as new. As new. Doors close and line up the way they should. You can see the fit on the door, which I forgot to mention on the front end, is just as good. You can see there's no overhang, no misfit of anything. Gaps on this car are really exemplary. Normally you don't see them this good on a Camaro. You really don't. Going back to sides, drip rail molding, same way. There's no marks, no chips on it, no dinghies. Vinyl on the top, no starting to bleed through anywhere, no bubbles underneath it. Someone did a really fantastic job of putting this guy together. Trim around the back window. The back window is also tinted. It's just the way it left the factory when it was new. Okay, as I said, the door to the quarter is just, you can see there's absolutely no overhang. Just as nice as it could be. By the way, the fuzzies, the window wipes per se, this one's a little loose. I don't know why it is, but it is. Have to tighten that up. They're brand spanking new. The stainless on them is just flawless, no dents or anything from anyone using a scraper or anything on it. Wheel lip molding the same way as the front, no problems whatsoever, none at all. And this guy also has discs in the back. It has discs in the front and discs in the back, which we'll go over on the undercarriage photo that, or the video that Mario is going to do. But you'll see it has a 9-inch Ford rear in it, plus it has 4-wheel disc brakes. So this thing is really upgraded from what it left the factory with in 1967. In addition to that killer motor that it has. Trim around the back of the vinyl top, same way as around the windows. It's just as nice, gorgeous, gorgeous paint on this car. Gorgeous. Bumpers fit around the back just the way it should be. Nice car down the driver's side. There's not one single thing to look at on this car that you can't like. Look down the sides of the car and it's just as straight and nice as can be. No dents, no waves. Everything lines up as it should. Okay, rear spoiler to match the front. You can't have one without the other. So we got a rear one. And you can see the deck lid on this thing is as nice as the fit on the hood in the front. This car is just, you get a lot of cars that are, you know, passable. Back then they had not as stringent quality control as they do in today's stuff, but this car happens to meet that criteria a lot closer than most of them do. Very, very straight car. Correct SS cap in the back, black around the back the way it should be. Rear valance doesn't have any pulls or any marks or dings or anything else on it. Tail lights are nice and clean and shiny looking, the plastic on them. Trim around your tail light lenses is just absolutely brand new, no marks or anything on the chrome on them. Usually you find some pitting even in the aftermarket ones. There's some pitting, just doesn't have any. A really great car across the back end here. And again, the trim around the top and the back and around the back window is just top shelf, just like the rest of the car so far. Okay, down our passenger side, same way as the other side, you can see the bumper fitment is just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Paint on the quarter panels is the same as the rest of the car. It's just, you can't find anything that you can find a blemish or a flaw in. Wheel lip molding, nothing at all, no dents. Door fitment, you can see again, you know, there's just absolutely nothing. Top on this side, same as the other side. No bubbles, no rust marks or anything underneath it, which is common on a lot of vinyl tops to get moisture in there and start to have some little bubbling underneath them. This has absolutely zero, none. Great looking car. Again, the interior is just exemplary. The seats, dashboard, carpeting, door panel, everything is absolutely brand new. Even the armrest and the trim around the armrest is all brand new. So you're buying a brand new 1967 car. And as you can see, everything lines up. The windows, the back windows. Got a mirror on the right side. That's a must-have. Nice addition. Chrome on the handle, same way as the other one. Absolutely new. Wing rubbers. Everything as nice as can be. The door on this side is the same as the other side. And again, you know, you can't, there's no way that you can, I don't know if you can see, but I'm rubbing my hands over it. It's not even catching anywhere. You can't really even feel a deviation from one panel to the next. And if you notice, the gaps are laser straight. Okay, it's really unusual to find a car, because these things did not leave the factory with gaps and doors fit this well, and hoods and fenders and deck lids. And this car, someone spent a lot of time hand fitting everything and shimming everything so that it is as it should be. Really did a great job. Error correct antenna for us. Front fender again. Absolutely nothing. The flags and the Camaro designation on the front. No marks on the wheel lip molding. And again, front bumper fits just as well as the other three corners did, you know. There's not one thing on this car that you can fault. There's really not one single thing. Again, tinted glass the whole way around. I mean, the car just is it's a real high grade 1967 big block SS style kind of pumped up Camaro. I mean, it's got a big block that was a 512 block, so we know it was a hypo motor to start with. It's got a nice cam in it. It is a 4-speed. It's got a 9-inch Ford in it, 4-wheel disc brakes in it, power steering, power brakes, vintage air conditioning. The car's just a knockout car. A lot of the things, when I go around here, I try to pick out something, and you notice I did find a loose piece of window wipe over on the other side, which we, did tell you was there. We try our very best to describe these cars as accurately as we possibly can. A lot of times we'll miss something, and I'll go back and I'll say, oh geez, I found a mark here. But when we do find something like that, we address it before we ship it to you. It's just a real high-grade Camaro, what we're used to putting out here at HANKSTERS in Daytona, and it's just another car in our livery that we're really proud to have, and you'll be proud to own when you buy it. All at HANKSTERS of hot, sunny Daytona Beach, Florida. We're underneath the Camaro that Mario did a walk-around shoot the other day with, and it was raining, so this is our first opportunity to do an undercarriage presentation of the car. But it is a 67 big block, 4-speed, steering and brake, and air conditioning car. So we're underneath it now, and we're going to go over the undercarriage for you. Disc brakes in the front, new steering box and Pitman arm. Braided stainless lines on the front. Calipers aren't new, but they're pretty fresh looking. Apparently there's new shocks in the front, they look fairly fresh. New flywheel, new clutch and pressure plate with it, new starter. 1 5/8, smaller diameter, ceramic coated headers that are long tube. It's going to give you a lot more low end and mid-range torque having a smaller diameter tube with it. Very, very nice street setup for torque. And this thing has enough of it to disintegrate the tires on this car. Bunce M21 4-speed shifter, Hurst shift linkage in this particular car. You can see there's a new structural brace across with a new mount for the tranny. The floor pans are just as solid as rock from front to back. You can see them in their entirety. They're just as nice as can be. Subframes have no deterioration, no rust, no jack marks on them, no dents of any kind. I can't see a single thing I can tell you wrong so far in the front end of this car. No leaks in the oil pan. You can see it's a deeper pan, and it also has no leaks in it. No leaks in the tranny, as you can also see. No leaks up front from the radiator, obviously. That very rarely ever happens. Nice straight car so far back through. 3/8" fuel line going to the front, which would be good and correct for a big block car actually. And the correct original equipment type brake lines going toward the back. We got a nice car, 2 1/8" pipes terminating out of our collectors heading back to 2 Flowmaster style mufflers in the rear here, which you'll see shortly as soon as Mario moves back. Floor pans solid as can be. You can see the attachment where the floor pans go on to the rocker panels. Everything is nice. There's no rust, there's no deterioration, there's no issues whatsoever, no perforations anywhere on this underneath this car on the pans. Very, very nice looking car so far. Okay, as we originally stated, there's Flowmaster style mufflers. This particular car, 67, has a monoleaf rear suspension on it, newer shocks in the back. They appear to be walkers with the blue paint on them. This guy went a little bit different. He has a 9-inch Ford rear end in this car. Very, very heavy duty rear end. A lot of people use a 9-inch Ford. They feel it's almost as good as a Dana 60 Carrier and a Mopar, which is the strongest you're going to use, but a 9-inch Ford is real close. Certainly much stronger than a 12-bolt Chevy, and definitely stronger than a 10-bolt Chevy. This guy's got a real 9-inch Ford rear in it. Disc brakes in the back of this particular car to match the discs in the front that we have. Very unusual to find one of these Camaros with 4-wheel discs. This guy has it. It's got 4-wheel discs on it. Great looking set of wheels. Pans in the back for the trunk. I don't see any perforations, nothing. It looks all original actually. The entire pan assembly for the entire trunk. Where it goes over onto the quarter panels and the drop downs, which appeared still to be original. They're very, very nice condition. Again, no rust or perforations in them. Gas tank could be the original one, it could be a replacement. It does, however, have a new sending unit because there's a new stainless line coming out and new wires. So we do know that it has a new sending unit in it, and the gauges do work and function well in this car, by the way. I can't see anything else that I can tell you about under here. This car is really well constructed, very well done. It's a big block car in a 4-speed, steering, brakes, air, a 512 block, which we know it started out as a hypo motor to begin with its life, so we have no idea what configuration it is now without pulling it down, but I can tell you that it is strong as a bear. This thing will completely disintegrate the tires anytime you want. His tires will be gone. Real nice running vehicle, runs down the road straight as can be. You can see the undercarriage. We try to give you a good comprehensive presentation of everything that we're looking at underneath the car. Hopefully we don't miss anything. If you have any questions as to anything specific, we can always carry it one step further and give you high resolution photos of any part of this vehicle that you want to see. All you have to do is contact us and let us know. We'll be more than happy to do that for you. This car is a great vehicle. It's available at HANKSTERS Daytona, and you should really take a look at it.